Yours going real nice. Kind of jealous. I can't blow it off.
He hasn't arrived yet, but he's not here. He's being recorded for him. He's the attorney for the day. Right there. Okay. This is for okay, thank you.
Is the detention docket for 3/23rd. Explain what's going on. So the law says when a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. And the judge has to decide whether to keep him in custody or to release you. This is a detention hearing. This is not a final trial. This is not about whether you committed an offense or not. It's simply about whether you should be detained or whether you should be released. Now, this process is a fairly simple process. It starts out with I will get a report, and Now I'll list out what basically the police said that you did. And based on that report, I'll make a decision on whether there's probable cause that you committed an offense. By probable cause, that means can somebody articulate something? Can they put into words a series of statements? Could you turn that phone off, please?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, off.
Yes, awesome.
It is off. Okay. So a series of statements that if they were true would be a violation of our laws. If there is probable cause, then the next step is to decide whether I should detain you or not. That is based on different factors, things like whether you'll be a danger to yourself or to others, whether you're likely not to appear in court, whether there's adequate supervision in the home, and things like that. If I decide to detain you, the law says you'll have to see a judge every 10 days while you are here. You do have certain rights in this hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, we will provide one for you. Now, I am certain there will be information that comes out. Well, there will be information that does not come out today relevant to your case. That is very important. But again, this is not your trial. If you do have information that's important, that is something you need to tell your attorney about and not just blurt out in court. This is not about whether something actually happened. In fact, everything that I'll be discussing today or reviewing will be hearsay. And itself is what the police officer said that they were told. So when you have more information, please tell your attorney. Also, I've seen a number of people here wearing masks. You're more than welcome to wear a mask if you'd like to. If you'd like to take it off, you're welcome to take it off as well. No one will give you a hard time either way. So we'll go and start with Albert. Yes. Thank you. All right. Yes, you've never been here before. Been here now for 17 days. You were brought in by Arkansas PD. You were working a robbery detail, the area of Sublet and 287 because of armed robberies at the subway. Suspects fled to an apartment complex through a hole in the fence. There were police staged in the area, and they identified Xavier and Demarius. They approached the subway. Witnesses said he opened the door while you entered the store, brandished a handgun with a red handle, pointed the gun at the worker, demanded money from an employee, took about $200. And they heard Xavier say, "Cop, cop, cop," ran, followed by you. Ran by police, found with a gun. There's a third suspect that failed. All right. We have a parent here?
Yes, Mom, Dad.
Hello, Mom and Dad.
Hello.
All right, so at this point, he's been here for 10 days. He is level 1 outstanding. It looks like he's been level 1 outstanding since the first opportunity he has. All right, so he's on the right path. So he needs to keep it up and show me that releasing him is a good idea at this point, just because this is armed robberies it's been happening consistently at the same location. I'm very concerned about the safety of the community as well as the safety of your child. Okay, so I'm glad y'all are here. Demarius, I'm glad you're level 1 outstanding and hopefully you'll maintain it. We'll see you at the next 10-day hearing. But again, this is me. I'm just slowing things down. Things are way too serious for kids with guns right now. Okay. All right. Thank you. Brendan. Thank you. Okay. All right, Brennan, 14 years old. Mom is here. You were here back when you were 11 years old for mischief, and 12 years old for terrorism threat, which you were on probation for, successfully completed, and run away. Help me out more, Jorge, on how this use. I don't see any information.
Essentially, he stole his mom's car without permission. The mom did get the vehicle back, and whenever this offense occurred, we reported runaway for probably 2 days straight. And he was found half brother as well as another peer. There were multiple debit cards stolen that was located inside the vehicle. That charge is supposed to be pending, incoming. Has been some
credit cards? Were they moms or other people?
Other moms and other people, there were insurance cards, and he nearly hit the police officer's car, hitting a dead end, and he turned near the
Right. Okay. All right, Mom, you're here. Okay, so you know where he was, have you found out where he's been staying when he was a runaway?
He was in the phone. He was on
When you lived in your car for 2 days?
so far as my oldest son told me, that's all I know. I haven't asked him.
How did he eat?
I guess his friends gave him.
Have you been able to talk to him while he's been here?
I have, but I haven't talked about that particular situation. The details.
I'm kind of curious, why not? I mean, that, if you, my kid took my car, he was gone for 2 days, that's kind of the first thing I want to talk about.
Well, because bringing fabricates a lot of things,
Okay,
and his brother, not so much.
right,
So I've gotten some information from his brother. I think I'm waiting for the investigation. I haven't talked to the arresting officer or anything to kind of try to piece things together so I can kind of cross-reference what he said versus, so I can learn for myself.
all right, so when you're saying he fabricates a lot of things, then my question is, if I'm releasing to you, like, can you trust him?
I've been taking precautions because I've also requested a monitor, but they said that I had to request it.
Well, a monitor doesn't do any good unless he's released, right? So,
Right.
okay, so, but you're saying that he lies to you, so you can't trust him, but then now you're saying that you can trust him. You see where I'm trying to figure this out?
As I said, I've taken precautions to ensure that he can't leave. the
Okay,
room.
like,
Like, I placed security cameras around my home. He left while I was asleep.
okay,
And that one particular night, I wasn't at work. I worked overnight. I worked from home. I
right,
was with my children. Raining feels like he has an opportunity, unfortunately. You know, I was just getting ready to get that car back. So I guess he saw an opportunity, he didn't think I needed it, so he was enjoying life.
right.
But again, I'm not requesting his records from Dallas. He was at Dallas Behavioral for the issue. When I was supposed to have him medicated,
Mhm.
I decided against it. Now I see that may not have been.
Okay.
We'll get back to that.
So where are we, have you filled the prescription?
I've requested records, I'm calling and I answer, so once I leave here, we're headed up to Dallas Behavioral, so I can get some kind of.
Sure. What is he diagnosed with?
Bipolar.
Okay. Brendan, you been on meds before? Do you take it as prescribed? All right, I'll give it a shot, Mom.
Yes, sir.
All right, let him go, but you're gonna go, doctor prescribes medication, you gotta take it. If I find out you're not taking the medication like the doctor prescribes, I'm bringing you back here, okay? Now, if you don't like the medication or it's not working, tell your mom, go back to the doctor and get it adjusted. But it's not on you to stop taking it, okay? That's not your call to make, that's the doctor's call, okay? All right, we'll give it a try. I'll put you on EM at the beginning, and then we'll see how you do on there. And then hopefully, when this all gets resolved, we take care of the core issue, which seems like maybe the mental health issue.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right. Thanks, Brendan.
Thank you.
Kaden. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Kaden, you've been here for a couple weeks now. Beginning of month 4 PD brought you in, they're saying that there's a shot fired call at your home. Police made scene, witness was supervising groupers. Approached the police, said a white male wearing a red shirt fired 3 shots down the street towards the house they were working on. And they thought you were shooting at them. So officers use the PA system to call out people to home. Male wearing a red shirt, exited, taken into custody. Identified yourself. And then somebody showed a Ring doorbell camera showing the white male, red shirt, resembling you to approach a black sedan in front of the house. Transaction of the vehicle, and then the car drive away. Kevin went into the house, walked out, pointed the object on the street, and 3 gunshots were heard. So ran back to the home. It appeared to be a gun at your side. They found casings in the street. Mom got on scene, gave permission to search, and found a handgun inside the house. So, ammo on the gun matched the ones on the street. Investigation showed it appeared that you were trying to sell on social media, trying to sell a firearm, and using your 13-year-old sister's social media account to advertise and make contact. And that you have done that with your sister's account before. So when you're arrested in the car, officers heard you start to cuss at your mom and say, "You better hope I don't get out and come back." We have a parent here? Hello, Mom.
Hi.
Is that part what you heard too?
Yeah, that's what happened. That's the truth.
Okay. All right, so I guess a week later, 4th PD brought you in on a different case. We dispatched a home for domestic. When they got there, met with mom, said saw 13-year-old daughter acting strange.
That was 2 days previous to the gun incident.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess the report just didn't match up.
Maybe that. Maybe.
So mom did a home drug test. Daughter tested positive for benzos. Mom used a K-Man prescription, and she said she got the pills from Kevin. Kevin admitted it. First, she confronted Kevin, argument. Kevin started throwing chairs around the house, destructive. Before she slapped Kevin with open hand across the face and grabbed her. His forehead against her forehead and growled through his teeth. And Kevin bit her on the forehead. Mom got free, she was concerned. And Kevin and his girlfriend were trying to leave. Mom said that you did not have permission to take the extra car. And that you've been driving it despite not having a license or being insured. The kid got a hot wire the car. His mom took away the keys, they left. Runaway status. Back June picked up, found some dangerous drugs in her pocket. Came in, tested positive for marijuana. Admitted to meth use. Tested positive for meth. Positive for opiates. Case pending with the VA. Because y'all want a substance abuse evaluation.
Yes, please. That is the biggest problem is his drug problem. He's really a good boy, but drugs.
All right, so why can't we do a substance abuse evaluation in custody?
Understanding is that they're not doing those yet.
In custody?
Yes.
They're not coming to our facility yet.
Yes.
Can we do it remotely?
Looked into that. But I'm not sure that that was done, but I will see if we can get that done.
Yes, sir.
Katie told me just now that he wanted to be released to go into an inpatient rehab. I don't know if that's something that his mom had worked out or
It's
what.
and not something I've worked out because I've tried to set it up previously, and in December he was accepted into Care House, which is through MHMR. And when we showed up there, he was high out of his mind. And after the 3-hour evaluation, they wouldn't take him because his problem was too far progressed for an adolescent center. And so then I try to find a detox center, but there's actually not a detox for methamphetamines. So those centers wouldn't take him either. So like, I don't want him to be here, but I just want him to get help. Like, he needs help. And it needs to be court ordered, like for him to get the help that he needs. That's what I need to happen.
Sure. So I'm looking at, it's polysubstance. What do you, so he's positive and admitting to use of meth, opiates, marijuana, and selling his prescription benzodiazepines. So.
Oh, those weren't his.
Oh, they weren't his?
No,
Okay.
that was something that he acquired.
So he's got benzos on his list too. So like what do you think the SAE is gonna say?
I think there's no argument to it's true.
There we go. So, y'all need the SAE to go forward?
Well, if we're gonna use our facilities, the campus, then usually
Yeah, I don't think the campus is appropriate.
Or we could do like some kind of resource staffing to replace it.
Let's do that.
Okay, then I'd like to request a psychological.
Do we need a psychological for the resource staffing?
Generally, if we're gonna do a placement search, yes,
Okay, so I know they want one, but do they need one?
they need one.
Felicia, whoever is nodding her head.
They don't need one to do the staffing, they need one for a place.
Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and start staffing it. I'll order the psychological. So that takes 6 weeks, just because there's a backlog waiting for the doctor for the psychological. So you only can see the doctor for 6 weeks, all right? And so you'll be here. And then right now, your struggle is convincing me that there needs to be some kind of placement to put you in for drug treatment, rather than sending you to TJJD, where I know they have a treatment program.
I've been, since I got here, I've been trying. Since I got here, I've been trying to get it to rehab. And this is my first time being like clean and everything, so like I'm a lot more clear-minded now than I was any time before in here. So I would like to get into rehab. That's inpatient.
Yeah, I'm not thinking rehab, not with a polysubstance, not with the violence in your past, not with manipulating a 13-year-old little girl to further your drug trade. Yeah, rehab is not an option for me. I'm looking at a placement where it's a secure facility where we place you and you were there in 6 to 9 months. That's what I'm looking at. But as far as a rehab facility, you're way too dangerous to get into yourself. Forget that. Okay, so, you drug your 13-year-old who's selling guns and giving her drugs. She deserves better than that. It is true. So anyways, yeah, so right now the options that I'm looking at is either a long-term secure placement, they're usually out of state, or TJJD, right? Because TJJD will have all the programs there. Okay, so anyways, meanwhile, what you can do to make the situation better is keep your behavior level up, do what you're supposed to do, convince me that I need to do something less restrictive, which is placement, rather than more restrictive, which is TJJD. Okay? All right, Mom, do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Daniels. Thank you. Xavier. Yes. Thank you. All right, Xavier, you're the companion case to the subway armed robbery. Eric here. Okay, hello.
Hi.
All right, he is level on Sandy. He's been, just like his, Demarius. And so for right now, when you're talking about them getting involved in a pattern of robberies enough with the police setup, they just keep on going back, running from the police with a gun. We know there's way too many kids being shot right now. And so I just have this policy, whenever youth offenders are involved, I always slow down, tap the brakes, make sure I'm very comfortable that the community as well as your child is safe before I release them. Okay, so he's on the right path, he's level 1 outstanding, he has been for a while, but he needs to keep on proving that, because it's not just a one and done and get out of here quickly. All right, that's how we get in trouble. All right, so Xavier, keep on doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is what you are doing. All right, this is the path to get out of here. It's not today, it's not tomorrow, but we'll see at the next hearing. But I always slow down with these, when kids have guns. Because everyone knows Judge Kim detains kids when they're buying with guns. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Xavier Rodriguez. Yes, sir. Very clean. All right, Xavier. You're 14, you've been here for 2 weeks. Back on July 10th, Arlington PD was called to the Parks Mall on a fight over a phone. Victim said that Yasmin took his phone inside the ice rink. Yasmin was uncooperative with officers, did not tell them her name or the phone was. Did an investigation, found out you were in possession of the stolen phone. They detained you for stealing the phone, and they found a loaded handgun in the mall, in your waistband while you were, right? He was inside the mall, Casey?
This was outside of the parking lot,
Outside the park. Okay.
and he did not have possession of the phone. Someone just gave it to me.
Oh, so the police, they told the police that he may have the phones. That's why they searched them.
He wasn't involved in that incident.
But he just happened to have a gun. Ms. Reaver.
Thank you, Your Honor. Knowing the court's policy, that I would just like to remind the court that he has no prior history, that he recently turned 14. He's in transition between homes right now. He was just recently passed over to his grandmother who's here at court today.
Sure.
That there's no information in the report there that he was brandishing the weapon and threatening anybody. According to the report, he had it up person. We would request that he be released on electronic monitor.
So, Grandma, where did the gun come from? Do you
I
know?
have no idea. I had just got him like 4 days before this happened.
Right.
So, I mean, I didn't like search him when he came into my house.
Sure.
So I had no idea.
Why would you think you would have to?
I know, exactly. So,
But I know, speaking with the grandmother, that they're taking some steps to make sure that he's going to be following instructions. There will be adults there to supervise him 24 hours a day.
So, yeah, what is the plan with that?
he has a dad and his uncle there. He's going to be supervised 24/7. He will not be going anywhere with anybody unless one of us adults.
What part of the county do with it?
Arlington.
Arlington?
And I got cameras on front and back, see if they even see if I can go out. So.
So, Xavier, let this be a lesson that the only way to avoid getting arrested is to not break the law. So it seems like it was just your dumb luck that you got caught with a gun on you at the time. I'm going to release you on electronic monitor for you to stay at home. This is all summer until school starts. We can change it. Mr. Paul, come back to me to modify his electronic monitor hours. But there's also no internet program on no internet. I mean, that's no social media. If he's got an Xbox, it's unplugged. Right? I mean, just there's no communication with the outside world. Xavier, if you have a problem with that, I'll keep you here. So it's your call. You can be at grandma's house, but no internet, no web browsing, no email, like he is removed from the world. Because the option is I can keep you here and you have no email, internet, social media, you're removed from the world. You see how that works? So if you're ever frustrated at grandma's house and you wish you could just go online, you gotta realize the cost of that is I go back to Kimbo, you have no choice, you can't get online. You understand? So I'm gonna try this out, we'll see if he sneaks out or if he's acting up or giving attitude, if he wants to use his tablet or his phone or whatever. Or just even go online to play games, that's a hard no, okay? And then at that point, just let me know, I'll just bring it back here. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Justin. Yes. All right, Justin. This is your 10-day hearing. See back on July 10th, Fort Worth PD dispatch of domestic. You got there, met with grandma, said that you lived there because you caused too many problems at mom's. You have some medication for some mental health issues. You get violent when you get angry. So you wanted her to take you to trampoline park. She said no, started throwing things in the backyard. When grandma started taking pictures, you snatched the phone, scratched the hand. And so you are charged with injury to the elderly. Do we have grandma here?
Grandma here.
Hello. You don't look elderly to me if it helps. I know that's just what the charge
It
is.
does help.
Okay. That's just what the charge is. So, all right, well, so we have mom here as well then? And then you said stepmom? Okay, so great. So we have 3 great women in your life, Justin. Now let's figure out what's really going on here. I mean, he has mental health issues. Is he not taking his medication?
He takes them regularly.
Okay, on that.
He
on
has
this-
not missed a pill one with me.
Okay, so on July 10th, then he was on his medication. So when's the last time you saw a doctor?
He's actually due for a med check on Wednesday,
Okay, when was the last time previous?
a month before.
Okay, so about a 6-week schedule then.
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. So what happened that,
He usually only has these outbursts when I'm around. He had been staying with grandma for a couple of weeks, and
Okay.
twice I went over to spend time, and they both ended with a huge blowout. So there's a volatility with me.
like some toxicity in there? Don't try and rationalize irrational behavior. Okay, and that's one can do with the hard things. Well, then grandma, if mom isn't around, then you have no problems with them?
I can handle it. Yes.
Well, if handling it means just catering to whatever he wants, but I don't buy into that.
I don't want the catering to tell grandma. I mean, I live a certain way, and he has to live the way I live, which is clean, respectful.
Right.
You know, there's nothing wrong with it. I've never asked him to do anything that I don't do.
Right.
You know, so he's pretty good with me. But as soon as he sees his mother, it's like immediately
Sure.
huge difference in him. He turns into some kind of a mind controlling
Okay.
crazy person.
Well, so I have to ask, so stepmom, you were stepmom through how?
I married his husband. His dad, sorry. Not to speak, yeah, sorry.
But you just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
So, all right, so, okay,
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
The last detention hearing, Judge Porter asked for a psychiatric
right,
detention. Dr. D recommended that he continue his community therapy with his psychiatrist.
right, okay, which is good. Yes, we like to continue with care. I hate to interrupt his treating physician psychiatrist with ours. Right. All right, so my question is Paxton. He only got to level on YC, he adjusted to level outstanding on July 22nd. So how did he dip? How far did he dip? What happened?
He went to unacceptable for refusing to cover his nose with a mask times 2.
Okay. Justin, look, I am probably more frustrated than that than any other person on this planet. But when you're in detention, you're trying to prove to me You understand? Like, it's not about the mask anymore, it's about the rules to show me that you can follow the rules. I'm not gonna let you go unless you can follow the rules. And that's it, just a mask issue.
Yes, there was one other time that he lost, he went to acceptable, that was on the 17th of July. I'm having issues with following instructions.
Yes,
We've continued to try and get Justin into residential treatment
or,
facility because this is an ongoing issue
but I mean, for what?
for his mental health needs.
For anxiety, depression, ADHD, he has been diagnosed with DMDD.
Mom, are you just the trigger for all this? Is that just
No,
the way it works
we're a
out?
trigger too. We had him in our care full time for 6 months, and he ended up, he ran away several times. He went off with some neighbors and not neighbors, some strangers, and smoked pot and drank with them. His behavior's just, he didn't pass ninth grade, didn't get enough credits because he wasn't showing up to class.
Sure.
His behavior's just, it's continued to escalate as far as the outbursts, the anger. It's typically when he's put in a situation where he's given restrictions,
Sure.
he's given limits, he's given
But it
rules.
seems like he's doing okay here, which is odd, right? So, I'm not arguing. with
Yeah,
you,
I don't know, but he also doesn't have, he doesn't have the distractions here. He's not given any privileges here, really. I mean, as far as, he's obsessed with image, social media, you name it, getting attention.
And you have an appointment set up already with his doctor
With his psychiatrist, yes, this was Wednesday,
for Wednesday, in person or remote?
remote. I plan to have the appointment myself. Justin mentioned that he didn't think his ADHD medication was lasting long enough,
Okay.
so everything else seems to be fine, with that exception.
May I say something?
Yes, sir.
Justin wanted me to let you know that he says he knows what his trigger is, and he is taking steps
Curious.
to fix that.
I mean, I appreciate self-awareness. What do you hear trigger?
What not just the trigger, it's the root cause of everything that's happened in the past 5 years,
Right.
longer. In my relationship with my dad, I've got nails, everything. I want to fix that, and I really want. So like, I just want to prove to my family that I want to change it. I can't
Right.
do it long term.
Sure. That's not, it seems like reasonable to y'all or possible? I'm not even sure if it's possible.
Yeah,
I don't know what triggering his dad's relationship has to do with, his mom triggering, when he has the
Well,
outburst.
we're talking about emotions also, right? And so, we try and bridge all these connections together. We just don't always, again, we can't look for rational explanations for irrational behavior. And that's one thing that I think we just all need to kind of stop and take a step back sometimes to say it doesn't make sense, but it's not impossible, right? Mom, did you want to say something else?
if I did, I forgot what it was.
Okay, this is what I'd like to do, all right, and Justin, this is, so, like, my desire is not to have you here. All right? My concern is that your behavior is just absolutely unacceptable. Right? It's one thing, I'm not gonna put up with your grandma might, but I'm not, right? If anything, you're supposed to respect your elders, your mom, your stepmom, your grandmother, and your father. That's just the way it is. That's the way life is supposed to be. So what I would like to do at this point is I want to go and detain you for now. We keep that appointment with the doctor. Mom, can you show up here? Patsy, can we facilitate remote?
I'm not sure. I just maybe we can.
Okay, worst case scenario, mom comes to the courthouse, we'll bring him over to one of our jury rooms, and you can, if they can't do a detention, we'll do it here inside the courtroom, okay? And that way you can have that. The reason why I'm doing this, Justin, is because I want the doctor to adjust her medication. I want to how you're behaving to make sure it's a good balance, it's a good fit before release you. The last thing I want to do is release you now, knowing that the medication is going to change and it may not be right because the next time you come in, then I'm not going to be as forgiving to let you go. Does that make sense? So I'm holding you in order to better prepare you to get out of here. Does that kind of make sense in a weird, convoluted way? Because if I give you this chance and through no fault of your own, let's say the prescription is just not working for you, you come back here a second time, then my patient's wearing thin. Yes, sir.
I don't think that, that the medication will change, have an effect on anything. I still need it because I'm still struggling with those problems, but I know how I can fix that problem, and I'm already trying to. And I've set a plan for myself to change that problem. So and yes, the medication does help me, because I can see this down will affect the outcome.
Sure. So I'm gonna throw something out there, right? You're 15. Think about 13-year-old Justin. And think about what you do as 13-year-old Justin. Think about how self-aware you were as a 13-year-old Justin. Now looking back and from where you are now, think of how, do you see how much better prepared and equipped for life you are than you were when you were 13? Okay. Now look at where I'm standing. Okay. I'm seeing 15-year-old Justin, because you know what? 18-year-old Justin is going to look at 15-year-old Justin and say, you just didn't get it, bro. Right? So this is one you just got. I'm going to say you got to trust. You don't have to. This is my decision. So you don't have a choice. I'm asking you to trust me on this one. It's just a couple more days, but it is something that sets you up for a lot more. It sets you up for success rather than setting you up for failure. Does that make sense? So bear with me on this one. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm asking you just to trust me on this one. I want you to see the doctor. Mom, you can be here. If you can't go back there, we'll do it here in the courtroom. And then just make sure you let us know what time. And then at that point, I want to probably through the weekend to see how you are on the medication compliant, how your behavior is. I don't want to wait till the next 10-day hearing. I want to wait till next Monday. Okay. Show me that if I let you go, you're not going to cause problems at home. Okay. So I want to give you a date that you can just tough it out. Do what you're supposed to do, take care of your business, and get out of here and go back home. But if you cause problems here, right, you're going to stay longer. Okay. And this is part of it. It's also a test on you. And I'm testing you. I really am. I'll let you know right now I'm testing you. Okay. All right, thank you, Justin.
We can do the remote.
Yes.
Do we want mom to be here? Is she doing the remote?
What do you prefer?
The doctor's portal, it's like one link in, one video, so we usually are side by side.
Okay.
On video together.
So yeah, so come to you can do it at detention.
She won't be able to allow detention.
Yeah, so bring it to the courtroom. So we'll set up, mom to show up here. We may reassign you to a different empty courtroom if we're busy. But yes, and I don't know if the grandma or stepmom can show up, but yeah, so but be here, we'll bring the courtroom, we'll set it up, we have a computer, take care of it, and then from there we can get the medication adjusted. Okay? All right, thank you.
What time is it? 5:15 on Wednesday.
AM?
5:15 p.m. on
Yep.
Wednesday.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll say, well, is there any way you can move it up?
I'll call today.
The reason
and
why
we can-
is because now we're running overtime for JPD, for the sheriff's office, the door security, for everything. It's not yours.
I'll call today.
Okay, all right, thank you. Jaden. Ed only had that much over. Thank you. All right, Jaden. No priors? So North Hills brought you in for domestic, they responded. Suddenly you and mom got your argument with the phone and you made a mess. Is mom here?
Yes.
Hello, mom. All right, so you made a mess, police told Jaden that you'd have to clean up your mess, and they would leave, so they all agreed, police left. Then they called from you, he told the police that mom had hit you in the face and locked you out of the house. He said as you began to clean up, mother was talking to her friends, and that friends told her that she could beat you up. She then punched you in the face, punched her back, then you went outside and she locked you outside. Police got there, talked to mom, she said, while in the hallway, you punched her in the face, knocked her backwards. Then went to the kitchen, grabbed the knife. Jaden told his mom, I'm gonna end you, bitch. Did he really call you that? Your own son. Jaden then left the apartment, she locked the door. Younger brother told the police the knife is in the pantry. Police got it, confronted you about the knife. He said, oh, that. Then you got the knife so the mom would stop hitting you. They detained you for hitting your mom and threatening her with a knife, transferred over here. Mom, I'm assuming that you didn't, your friends didn't tell you that you needed to beat him up.
I hit him because he was not clean. He was,
Okay. You know, parents allowed you to use reasonable discipline, so.
May I say something?
Yes, sir.
I did talk to mom just before we came in, and she does want him released. He has a stepdad who lives in Jackson, Mississippi, and possibly she might want to let him go and stay with his stepdad. And,
Hold on a second. Stepdad, how?
we just been dating since I was pregnant.
When you're no longer together.
No,
Okay. All right. So I'm sorry, Mr. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm trying to place everybody.
yeah, I didn't, he told me stepdad.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm not with a serious offense like this, Jason. You have to understand on this type of offense, you are looking at potentially up to 20 years in prison. Okay, because a knife is involved. So this is really serious. I'm not okay with you leaving the state of Texas while this case is pending. So that's done.
One other thing.
Yes, sir.
The other thing his mom said is that she had she's lining up
I took him to Cook's Children's Hospital on Tuesday because he needs help.
What kind of help? Mental health?
Yes, sir.
Has he seen a doctor before?
No, I'm letting I'll get up.
Okay, so why, and I'm not trying to beat you up, Mom, but why haven't you taken
They
him to
sent
doctor?
him home Tuesday. They said that we should do counseling first. They said he's not homicidal or suicidal, so they couldn't keep him.
Who's that?
So, Cook's Children's Home, the
Okay.
intake position. Okay, so we supposed to have counseling Thursday, but when I got back up to Cook's, they told me to take him to Carrollton Springs if he's released today. And she didn't give me a for sure answer, but they're gonna do another intake after I report this incident.
So, I mean, has he received 504 services at school? No?
No, he's a good kid. He plays football. He can't take direction, and when he's punished, he feel like he don't have to listen to me.
Right.
So, he just been having difficulties. I don't know if it's due to the move or what. So that's why
What move?
we just moved here from Mississippi.
Does he have any juvenile history in Mississippi?
No, this is the first incident.
So how long ago did you feel like there were mental health issues for Jacob?
Tuesday, we had a conversation. He told me he didn't care whether he lived or died. And that was a problem
So
for
just
me.
recently, there was never an issue like in the past.
No.
So is there an appointment actually set up?
We have an appointment Thursday at 5, but I want to take him to a facility where they will take him in today.
He may not need that, right? So I think the important thing is for him to be diagnosed. Like we need to figure out what's actually going on. And if he does have a diagnosable illness, if he does, then we move from there. rather than just checking into a facility. And trying to do things least restrictive as possible. All right, so Doug or Patsy, how do we get them engaged with that HMR?
Well, we make it well,
Like, Mom, there's nobody else you can stay with here in Tarrant County.
I'm what I do. He got a grandma that wants him to come to meet the people, but like you say, he can't meet the state people.
I don't want him leaving Texas.
Oh.
Judge, may I speak? I'm his grandmother.
Oh, you're the grandma from Mississippi?
Yes.
Okay.
He stayed with me while she moved here. He's only been here since April. He's doing good in school. He was glad to be here. The move was good for him. The problem is between he and his mother. While he was with me, I had no problem. None. His father, stepfather, is my son. He's been with him since before he was born. He's been in my house, no problems at all. I've asked her if he could come and stay with me. And I will make sure that whatever he needs, mentally or otherwise, is taken care of.
How are you gonna bring him back to court once a month?
I can handle that. I'm retired. I have the means to do it.
So Grandma, you understand, if I was to release him to you, and you were in Mississippi, that if you didn't come back for court, I could sign a warrant for your arrest, and you would be taken in custody and brought extradited to Texas until we found Jacob.
Yes,
That's a risk you're willing to take.
yes.
Now, if you go to where in Mississippi?
Jackson.
Jackson. Now, Jay's officially a Texas resident, so how would Jada get mental health treatment or resources in the state of Mississippi?
He is or was on Medicare. The only way that he could get that was he become another resident of Mississippi. Otherwise, I would have to pay for it, and I'm willing to do that.
Ms. Paxton, did we check for juvenile records in the state of Mississippi?
No, I actually just learned that.
Okay, me too. So this is what I want to do then. I'm okay releasing Jada to your grandma, but I want to make sure he doesn't have any juvenile history in the state of Mississippi. All right, and as long as that's the case, you do have to get and obtain like scheduled mental health resources for Jaden. You do have to report to Ms. Paxton. We'll let you know ahead of time what court is, but you are expected to return to court with Jaden. Okay. I'm not going to play straight with you because you are the victim of this offense, and I want to remove Jaden from your home for the time being, not permanently, but things need to cool off. 1 weekend's not enough, but instead of keeping him here, I'm okay with releasing him to grandma for the time being. Okay, let's try that. Just need to give Ms. Paxton time to contact her counterpart in the state of Mississippi. All right, so we'll find out probably more in the next hour or two. Thank you. Jamal. Sir. Thank you. All right. Molly, you are 16 years old. You came here. You're 14 for burglary of a vehicle. And then now, see, you were brought in this morning, firearms and police. You're saying on Friday around 1:30 in the afternoon, police responded to a shooting at the Artisan Apartments. Police got there, saw two black males, 13 and 17, lying on the ground from gunshot wounds. Victims were transported to MCA and pronounced dead. Police officers met several witnesses, including two who are cousins of the victims. Reported one of the suspects had a red streak, red in his hair, and was wearing a black sweatshirt with green bear logo on the front. Other witnesses reported that they saw the suspect wearing a black sweatshirt with a green bear logo on the front shoot the victims. Arlington police interviewed nearby store workers who reported a disturbance, a couple black males throwing gang signs back and forth. Store worker came out and told them to leave. Police stopped the vehicle, which was driving erratically through the area of the fence. Inside the vehicle, the back passenger seat was a black male with a gunshot wound, identified as you. And mom was driving the vehicle. EMS transported Jamal to MCA. Police officer met you there, took a photograph. You were not interviewed in the hospital. Since you were admitted and was a juvenile, they took your photo, placed it in the photo lineup, and showed to witnesses, and witness identified you as the shooter. And they said that the deceased encountered you near a barber shop. So, search of the residence, police found you. And the search of your residence in the vehicle, they found you in during the search of the house. Found a black sweatshirt with a green bear logo on the front, gray and black backpack with a 9mm pistol, and inside the firearm spent shell casings, which seemed like it was a failed to eject. 2 magazines, Apple Watch, iPad, small baggie of green leaky substance, and what seemed like blood. During the search of the vehicle, 2 cell phones, a lighter, gray sweatpants, and black sweatpants. So on Sunday, you were released from the hospital. They arrested you, brought you to their facility, asked if you wanted to talk to them, said you were. So you're arraigned by the magistrate. And the victim also, the 13-year-old victim had a handgun with a magazine in his waistband. And now we have a Bermuda vehicle from 2019. When they saw 2 black males get in the car, match clothing description. Anyways, I don't even care about that anymore. All right, positive marijuana and opiates. Do you have a parent here?
Right here.
Hello. All right. So, your son was discharged, so I guess he's okay.
I don't know because I couldn't talk to him.
No, the hospital, they had to discharge him. So medically, he's cleared.
They didn't give me no call.
No, but what they have to do is they have to get his Medicaid card, and he has a prescription that they have to give him.
He was discharged, but I guess the police department have all the information. He has prescriptions, and it's at the police department. So I have no information. They gave me anything.
The hospital member called you and said your son's being discharged?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, you can go to the hospital and get those records. Ms. Paxton, or Mr. Lyle, we have the medication that came with the child?
There was no medication within, Your Honor. Mother was supposed to get those prescriptions filled, but I guess she never did get prescriptions. I did get the Medicaid number, and I have already been in contact
with our nurses, so we're gonna get the medication.
Fantastic. Okay. All right, so Jamal, gonna let you know that you were looking at capital murder offense. If you were 17 years old at the time, this would be eligible for the death penalty. Since you were under 17 years old at the time, you are looking at potentially 40 years of commitment for this. If the district attorney of Tarrant County asks me to give up jurisdiction over you and transfer you to the adult criminal courts, you could potentially be looking at life with parole, which is 55 years. All right, so this is a very serious offense. At this point, I'm not releasing you. Obviously, based on what the police report is saying, your behavior is clearly dangerous to the community as well as yourself. Hold on a second. And that if I was to release you, I feel like you continue to be a danger to the community as well as yourself. I mean, you got shot, so you're a danger to yourself as well. Not to mention taking opiates. So, hold on a second. So, I just have a policy when kids brought in here with guns that I always detain them. If guns are actually used in the defense, then they end up getting detained for much longer. I do have a duty to protect the community. The best thing you can do is work with your attorney. One of the things I said at the very beginning is I am sure there's information that is very relevant to your case, but not relevant to a detention hearing. This is simply about the hearsay that I was told. It's not about the evidence or what witnesses say. That you will have a trial, and I will give you an absolute fair trial. Right? But that is going to be a future date, not today. Now, I know you want to say something. My recommendation to you is to use your right to remain silent. Okay? Because this is not your trial. This is not about whether you did or not. This is simply about detaining you or releasing you. Your attorney right now, Mr. Dales, is advising you not to say anything. I'm advising you. If you insist, you can, but we're all telling you not to. And I'm telling you nothing you say can do anything different right now. Won't change things. All right. So I hope you take my advice. At this point, your attorney is Mr. Willett. He is actually your court-appointed attorney. Mr. Daniels is just substituting today. But I am sure if Mr. Willett was here, he would also tell you. Mr. Admuji, would you agree, Mr. Willett, tell him to be quiet? Okay, another one of our attorneys. Okay. All right, Jamal. So I'm going to go and detain you. At this point, you need to show while you're in detention that you don't need either the adult criminal courts or commitment to TJD. Okay. You can do that by keeping your behavior level up at what I'm saying. Thank you, Jamal.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Pierce.
I love you.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
I'm sorry for this, sir.
Ma'am.
I couldn't see him.
Ma'am. Stop.
Okay.
This. Ma'am, you need to stop too. Like, why is this an issue?
Because I know myself, she's gonna have an outburst. And I'm
Do you know
gonna
me?
figure out.
Do you know what one of the things that really bothers me is when you interrupt me and don't let me finish my sentence? Because that's what you should know right now. Ma'am, a courtroom is not the time to say your goodbyes and I love yous. All right, this is a court proceeding. You need to behave appropriately for court.
I said, I'm sorry.
Okay, so next time, please not, and that's one thing to say sorry, but at least let me tell you what I think you're doing wrong. I need to let you know, disturb you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Interrupting court proceeding is punishable by contempt of court. All right, I do have the authority to detain you. And if I find you contempt, to incarcerate you for up to 6 months. I'm not going to do that. I am asking you, please, in the future when you are here, do not use this opportunity to say anything to your son. You will have the opportunity to visit your son in our detention facility through the proper procedure. Please do not interrupt court proceedings for your own. Okay? Thank you. Yes. All right, Pierce, 16 years old. Been here as a runaway back in April. And then April 21st, you were brought in as a runaway. Before that, 2 days before, you were brought in for evading arrest and our detention facility released you. And 2 days later, SRO at Trinity's got word that you were on campus that morning. You're a past student, but no longer enrolled. SRO found you through the cameras stationed near the building that you're in, took off running. You ignored commands to stop. Eventually, you were arrested off campus. And they think you were coming on campus to sell weed. I guess on April 5th, about 2 in the morning, Bedford PD saw 2 people under the underpass at Industrial. One was a runaway, and the reports that you were with her. So police already knew you, arrested you, asked you anything illegal, and you had a controlled substance on you. Finally, you're brought in on a warrant because you didn't appear for court on July 20th, and now you're positive for marijuana, amphetamines, and methamphetamines. So I find there's probable cause that you committed an offense, and I believe that if I was to let you go, you would abscond and not appear for court, just like you didn't appear for court last time on July 20th. So do we have a parent here? Hello, Mom. Any idea where he was when he ran away?
When I went and got him, he was up in Trent. Probably not see some of his friends up there, but I don't know where he was when he first left, or where he stayed, or, I mean.
Sure. Okay, well, Pierce is welcome to make these poor decisions once he's 18, but when he's under 17, then he falls under jurisdiction of this court. So Pierce, we give you a chance, you burned us, so I'm going to detain you. Thank you. Maria. All right, bring it back in. Maria, have a seat. All right, Pierce, what do you have to say? Stand up. You were muttering something when you were leaving, so be a man. Hold on a second. You were muttering something when you were leaving. Be a man. What were you saying?
I knew that was gonna happen.
All right, so why are you muttering to yourself? Why can you not respect the procedure in court? Okay. Pierce, at this point, there's one person in the world that decides what happens in your life. Whether even any kind of deal worked out with the DA has to be approved by me. So if there's one person that you want to snicker and smirk to and be sarcastic with, I'm not that guy. If there's any one person, in the world you want to stop interrupting, that's going to be me. So either fix your attitude and get your act together and get straight and impress me, or keep on acting like a baby and you can see how bad things can get. You can't go to TJJD on these events. If that's what you're trying to do, we got a bus for you. So either fix your attitude or let me know now and we can give you a trial in 10 days and we can get you on your way. Is there any questions for me? All right, thank you, Pierce. All right, Maria. Yes. Yes. All right, Maria. Hello, Keith.
Hey,
I'm doing well. 16 years old. Forward PD went to ACH because they're being combative, destroying property. And you're breaking glass panels. They detain you so they wouldn't damage your more property. While being detained, you try to fight the officer and kick the officer in the chest, causing pain. So you're brought over here. This is your third assault case now. So, hello, is he okay?
Hello.
So where are we? What are we doing, Maria?
So Maria has been without placement for at least 30 days. We've been searching for placement. We've not found anybody willing to take her. Currently, she's been unsuccessfully discharged from multiple placements. And the struggle we're having now is that she's pregnant. So we are continuing to search for placement.
All right, so that's where we're at. What's the plan? No, I'm talking to her.
we are gonna continue to search for placement. I mean, if she comes with us today, she'll go back into, it's a child watch facility and she's watched by our staff.
How many kids can you fit in there?
We don't place her with more than 2 kids at a time.
Okay. I mean, what's the prognosis on finding a place?
It's not great. We placed her in 2 out-of-state placements already. She was unsuccessfully discharged for both of those. We placed her in a professional foster home. That was unsuccessful.
So tell me about this pregnancy. Do we know who that is? Yes. Who's the father? I'm sorry? Sorry. No. Who is, what's his name? I'm sorry?
His name is Daniel.
Daniel what?
There's a pending criminal case.
Okay.
He's grown.
How old is he?
He's just turned 20.
Okay. How'd you meet him?
I've known him for a while.
Oh, okay. Through like CPS? Like was he CPS care now?
I knew him before I was a kid.
Yes.
The 2 people she would be placed with, how old are they?
It's staff members.
So it'd be her, 2 staff members and her.
So there's another child at this placement as well, but the staff rotates every 8 hours.
How old is the child?
The child, who's 16.
So it'd be 2 16-year-olds and a staff member, correct?
There's 2 before.
So where's her mother?
Her mother's in Houston in a treatment facility. She's
When
about
is
to
she?
graduate from her program.
Like in the next month, right?
August 31st is her graduation date.
And then was the plan with OCOK to turn her to a mother when she got out?
That we are hopeful that we can do that. Of course, a lot of it depends on Maria and Maria's behavior, but her mom has made significant progress.
Okay, what about any other family members? I know, I'm going to assume you've not found any or she wouldn't be.
We have not found any family members, because she also has siblings in care, and they're in foster homes as well. But we have not been able to find any appropriate family members.
Okay, you're gonna hate me. I know how you feel about CPS kids being in detention. You're gonna hate me and bother me. But placing her in that facility with 2 staff members and another kid, I don't think is going to be in her best interest.
So how pregnant is she? Do we know?
11 weeks.
11 weeks?
On Wednesday will be 11 weeks.
Okay.
Did you get pregnant since we were here last?
Last time I was here was 2019.
Were you pregnant that day?
No.
So I should detain you.
Yes.
Maria, at this point, with you being pregnant, I am not okay releasing you, okay? It is what it is. So I'm gonna hold you here for now. And so is Daniel, you said there's investigation. Is there pending case? Has been arrested?
She ran away the day that her forensic interview was scheduled
okay.
for, so she needs to get that.
Let's go ahead and set up another forensic interview. Maria, I'm gonna let you know something. Right now, because the assault public servant, kicking the police officer, you could be looking at 20 years for that. Okay? That means after the baby's born, CPS can get a hold of the baby and you finish out your sentence. Like it's just a bad situation. My advice to you is stop being grown up, be a 16-year-old girl. Okay? That means follow the rules, smile, laugh, find joys in the little things. okay? But don't try and be a grown-up right now. This is the wrong time because that's really gonna hurt you a lot more. Just trust me on this one. I think last time we saw each other, I was real straight up with you, right? I think I remember you. So I'm real genuine. I'm telling you right now, we're gonna set up another forensic interview. You have to cooperate. If I find out that you're not cooperating with that, if I find out you're not taking your prenatal vitamins, if I find out things like this, then it just gets worse and worse. Like you're getting more involved in your life. Or you just be a secret girl, do what you're supposed to do, what you're told for the most part, and then life is so much easier and I back off. Okay, you got here.
I actually haven't been able to run into it, but I haven't been given it.
Yeah, so the nurse will get that and we'll get those to you, okay? And that they're gonna set up the forensic interview. You need to participate in that one. Have you rescheduled it? You're going to?
We're going to.
Okay, so just let us know. We will transport her there and bring her back here. All right, I'm gonna hold on to you for a little bit, Maria, until I'm confident you're not gonna run away. Now, the fact that you keep on running away means it takes longer for me to trust you, okay? But that's kind of a consequence of your decisions, right? And so this is just time to own up to what you've done in the past. It's not that I'm holding it against you. It's one of those, you hurt my level of trust with you, okay? So you've got to rebuild that trust. Okay? All right, thank you, Maria. Thank you. Forgiven. Aren't you tired of seeing me forgiven? You gotta be tired of seeing me. Yes, sir.
See the last one?
Here's the last one.
May I be excused?
Yes, sir, Mr. Daniels. Have a good day.
All right.
All right, forgiven. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times you've been here. 7th time you've been here. 6th time with me. You know, if you want to see me, you can just come through the front door, right? You just want to chat. Like, you don't have to keep on coming this way, forgiven. Do we have a parent here?
CPS is President John.
Where? Oh, hello. All right. So now this time, and currently she is on probation.
She is still pending.
Okay, she's pending case. Or the
Disposition.
pending so it's adjudicated pending dispo.
Yes, because of CPS.
Okay. Now it's for the misdemeanor resisting arrest.
And the assault. Felony assault on public servant.
Okay. I don't see it being felony assault, public servant.
But it
is pending. Okay. Determined sentence or indeterminate? Indeterminate.
And
So-
that's not been adjudicated.
Has not been determined. Yes, for you?
I haven't been nothing recently, like I haven't got another charge. Usually these are all the charges.
Okay. Are you proud of that?
No, I'm just saying, like,
You're saying.
Well, I am proud because I haven't been nothing like this.
Okay. Wait, but you tested positive for weed?
No.
Oh, when you say I hadn't did nothing, I mean, nothing's nothing, right? You're smoking weed is something.
I do because I'm depressed.
No. Okay. All right, forgiven. So back in October, brought in, saw public servant, and you ran away. So on Friday, you came back on your own about 5:30 in the morning. When you got back, foster mom could tell that you were high, and on Saturday, she said that you were smoking weed upstairs. You were picked up for a warrant. Did the foster mom not call about the warrant as soon as she got back?
So she was reported as runaway.
Right.
Friday night. She returned home about 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Foster mom had contacted everybody that she needed to. Saturday morning, she was in contact with CPS, and at that time she realized the people were smoking again upstairs. She said it was something she couldn't deal with. Contacted PD, She has an active warrant for when she was shot about 4 months ago when we kind of staffed it. She wanted an EM possibly, due to numerous CPS placements. We felt leaving the DTA open was the best route to go, so that way if she had contact with law enforcement, she would be brought straight in and CPS could continue to look for an appropriate placement. But we have been doing numerous placements.
So she went to the hospital, she got shot.
Yes, dude. That was the last time that she was home.
Oh, forgive it. You know, like, I like you. You make it really hard to like you, but I like you. All right. So I'm gonna detain you for now because, well, you run away. You smoke weed and you have any cases. It is what it is, but these are all just, you knew that, you knew before you lit up, you're like, if Judge Kim finds out this isn't gonna be good.
Why can't we do, we can't do a monitor? Right?
That doesn't keep you from smoking weed inside your house upstairs. The monitor doesn't stop that. You knew when you lit up, you're like, man, if Judge Kim was right next to me right now, he's not gonna yet. Yeah, I'm not happy. Still like you, I'm just not happy with you. All right, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna root for you, it just means you and I are gonna have this kind of toxic relationship all the way until, well, you're done with this court and you age out this court system because, you know, I'm gonna remember you because I like you, but you can't keep on breaking my rules and expect there's no consequence. There will always be a consequence. All right. So, okay, so you know how to work the system back there, get your behavior level up. We'll review in 10 days, figure out if it's appropriate to release you or not. So you guys can look for something on their side of where to put you. But right now, you know I'm gonna hold you, but you knew that coming in, I was gonna hold you. All right. Okay.
I didn't know, you know my client that well. I thought it's your sister George that knows her.
Oh, no, we all know her.
She started it. Oh my.
Yes, we all know her very well.
That's not good.
All right, so forgive it. No cross problems back there, okay? All right, thank you. All right, that concludes the detention document. So CPS, or OC, okay? Y'all are looking for something, right?
We are, but we're in the same situation.
I get it. Some of these are real tough. This one's a little bit easier because she's not as violent and she's not pregnant. So, I mean, in that regard, your job's a little bit easier than hers, but just please, I mean, look, I'm not gonna hold you here forever, but I'm expecting y'all to try and find something.
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Hedges. All right, so, ma'am,
Yeah.
who are you here for?
Is she okay? Wait, oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm here when I'm observing the courts.
Okay, all right. That's all you're just observing? Okay. So, ma'am, there's a sign at the door, please turn the phones off. There's somebody at the beginning that phone went off. I was hoping everyone would take that as a cue. Happy to give you your phone back. Please, next time you come in, not vibrate or anything, make sure it's off.
I'm sorry about that. I really thought I'd turn it off.
It happens, but I just kind of do progressive at first. I kind of warn everyone second to take the phone.
Yeah.
At that point, everyone turns off the phone. So,
Right, right. I thought.
all right.
Sorry about that.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
No problem.